Sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get access to my streaming video service, Nebula, when you sign up for CuriosityStream at curiositystream.com/vector. As technology improves, time moves faster and faster. That's what it feels like, at least. And now, right now, we're hurtling towards the end of another year and another decade. I'm working with the Future Tech Awards with Tech Radar, Tom's Guide, Android Central, Windows Central, and iMore to honor this year's best, maybe even the decade's best. And you can go to the FTAs.com right now to cast your votes. But because I get to do these videos, I thought it'd be fun to tell you some of my votes right now, the ones for gadgets, for the year, and for the decade. I'm Rene Ritchie, and this is Vector. The 2010s didn't fool around. The first year, the first couple of months even, we got things like the Nexus 1, which for my money is still Google's best, most future-forward phone ever. Also, the first Chromebook, and the first true move from the self to cloud-managed thin client computing. Also, the Parrot AR drone, which, along with things like Uber, Lyft, same-day delivery, and automation, began the multifaceted, multi-year logistical revolution that we're still going through. I'm giving Gadget of the Year to the original iPad though. After a decade of tablet PC, Apple delivered not a big iPhone, but an iPhone gone IMAX, a blank slate that could become any website, any app. Sure, the original keyboard that came with it was anything but smart, and it would take years to get pencil and multi-window support. But seeing Steve Jobs up on stage just a year before he passed away, sitting on the chair, swiping across the screen, you just knew he was holding the future of very personal computing in his hands. And the iPad, and some awkward teenage years notwithstanding, has been on an absolute tear ever since. 2011 saw the introduction of the Nest thermostat, which aimed to bring Tony Fadell's iPod engineering skills into the home. Samsung's Galaxy Note, which showed what you could do with a bigger screen and a pen, and the HTC Thunderbolt, which managed to cram LTE into a phone for the very first time. But I'm going with the MacBook Air 2011, and no, these won't all be Apple products. Unlike the original in 2008, it became the de facto standard for pretty much every laptop that came out for the next many years, many of which used the term Ultrabook just to mean they were inspired by the MacBook Air. And with that slim, wedge-shaped design and wide assortment of actual ports, including Thunderbolt 2, who can blame them? 2012 gave us Hue Lights, which for many became the gateway product into mainstream home automation. LG introduced the first 4K TV, which was followed by a plethora of others, and Google gave us the Nexus 7, probably the last time its hardware was really caveat-free. Yeah, I said it. Tesla, though, gave us the Model S. Sure, it's a car, but it's also a gadget, maybe the ultimate gadget. And if two trends have continued to play out over the last decade, it's electric and it's automation. Truly self-driving cars are still more science fiction than near-term science fact, but the Model S was the beginning of future cars becoming more mainstream in the present. 2013 saw the BlackBerry watch become the Pebble watch for everyone, Google Glass become the eyewear for uber nerds, and the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One ignite this decade's video game console war. But Microsoft, after a weird Surface RT announcement the year before, came out with the Surface Pro. And yeah, the Surface Pro 2, later in the same year. Instead of bringing phone software up to the tablet, Microsoft was forced to push Windows down. And while it was very much still a years-long work in progress, thanks to the apps it could run and the keyboard you could run them with, it would come to inspire a whole new generation of convertibles, and also give Apple a huge run for their design money. 2014 was a bit of a wasteland in terms of truly industry-changing new gadgets. But that's okay, because Amazon launched the Echo with its own digital assistant, Alexa, on board. It was a speaker you put in your house and controlled with the power of your voice. Neither of those features were new or novel on their own, but put them together and they were far-field, voice-first magic. Sure, it was an easy way to order more Amazon stuff without leaving the comfort of your own couch, but it was also the beginning of the ambient computing movement, which is to say, a critical part of the future of computing. And yeah, all the privacy concerns that have come along with it. In 2015, we got to have Sphero's BB-8 toy in our lives, just as the larger version they helped make debuted up on the big screen. But more importantly, we got the Apple Watch on our wrists. Yes, Apple's initial messaging was all over the place, but part of that was because of just how much the Apple Watch could do right out of the gate. Messaging, health and fitness tracking, authentication, remote control. It couldn't do everything an iPhone could do, but it could do a few frequent, important, repetitive things so well you no longer had to reach for your iPhone to do them. Also, a way to swap bands that made generations of traditional watchmakers seem like they'd been absolutely frozen in time. 2016 saw both the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive bring real VR to the home, and the PlayStation VR try to make it even more mainstream. But for my money, Apple released one of its best products in years with the AirPods. Prototypically Apple, they weren't just headphones, they were tiny little computers for your ears, using custom silicon to work around Bluetooth for pairing and switching, the likes of which the world had never seen before. Combined with a look that's been iconic since the days of the iPod, they were enough to make the AirPods more than just a success. Made them a meme. In 2017, DJI reduced the drone down to the Spark, and Apple reinvented its most popular product with the iPhone X. Nintendo, though, showed the world what reinvention really was. After the disappointment that was the Wii U, Nintendo decided to switch things up. Literally, with the Nintendo Switch. Instead of a console and a handheld, the Switch would go from console to handheld. Play at home with your friends and family, or play on the road all on your own. It may not have been hardcore in specs or games, but combined with Nintendo's killer franchises and design prowess, and it was hard, make that damn near impossible not to love. While 2018 again didn't see any truly industry-shaping new gadgets, it did see many things get much better. It also saw something that I hope becomes industry-shaping and far more mainstream: the Xbox Adaptive Controller. It's not just a controller in its own right, it's a platform where all sorts of other accessible controllers can be connected. So people with low mobility or motor skills can hook up just exactly what they need to use, just exactly what they want to use it with. It's incredible, and I hope we see much more hardware like it. 2019 isn't quite finished yet, so there could still be a surprise or two coming our way. We've already gotten the Samsung Galaxy Fold though, which is horribly flawed but also an indicator of what might be to come. We've also gotten the Oculus Quest, which is a self-contained VR headset so good it's getting wicked side-eye from people still using even more powerful PC and tower-tethered units. I'm going to save my final pick for Gadget of the Year and the decade for a video closer towards the end of the year, just in case. But right now, I'm going to tell you about what's absolutely the bundle of the year. CuriosityStream, created by John Hendricks of Discovery Channel fame, and Nebula, created by yours truly, and a group of other education-y YouTubers like Bomber Guy, Patrick Willems, Sarah Z, Second Thought, Low Spec Gamer, Polyphonic, City is Beautiful, and many more. We're building it because we want a place for creators to try out new content ideas that might not work on YouTube with monetization or the algorithm, or for people who simply don't want to watch on YouTube, including cool new original series like Working Titles and Grand Theft Auto. And because it now comes bundled with CuriosityStream, you also get access to thousands of documentaries and series, like Triumph of the Nerds, which provides an inside look at the history of computers from its rise in the 1970s to the beginning of the dot-com boom. By signing up, you won't just be helping me out, but the entire educational community, as we work together to build a place where we can create the content you really want us to create. Just go to curiositystream.com/vector for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series, and now Nebula as well. And enter the promo code VECTOR to start your membership completely free for the first 31 days. Thanks CuriosityStream, and thanks to all of you for supporting the show. Okay, you've heard my votes for the best gadgets of the last 10 years. For this year though, we still want to hear from you. So hit like if you do, share if you care, subscribe, and decade punch that bell gizmo if you haven't already, and then head on over to theftas.com and make your vote count. Then hit up the comments and let me know what you voted for. Thanks for watching, and see you next video.